All right, so today we're diving deep into something pretty unique, a YouTube channel called Carnage 1nOnly. I'm guessing most of you haven't heard of this one, right?
Yeah, it's definitely under the radar, but that's kind of what we do here, right? Dig up those hidden gems.
Exactly. And this one is a gem, let me tell you. It's a mix of rap music, spoken word, and just raw emotion. It's all coming from this creator, Carnage, and that seems to be his real name too. At least that's what he goes by online.
From what I've gathered, yeah.
Yeah.
And what struck me is that it's all so unfiltered. Like you're really getting a window into this guy's thoughts, no sugarcoating.
Yeah, let's unpack this a bit, starting with his music. We've got a clip here where he talks about his flow. Let's give it a listen.
All right, hit me.
Audio clip, please.
Man, finally, yeah, I made it. Well, look, what I created took some other situations and I molded and I shaped them. It was me, the pen and paper double dating with my anger girl depression, trying to wreck her home, but I'm a caller later, fuck with me. It's improbable. I'd define the word impossible flow. So cold, I'm abominable, I'm bombing flow. Look out below, honor those who conquer those, and PID the toes along this road. Bump into the pool as we travel through the obstacles. Why can't we be pompers? You've been seated, caddy. Caddy. Buyers. Caddy corner to the portrait. I suggest you take my offer, a whole new type of system I've designed with pure intention. A mind can be uplifted when applied to daily sentence. Wake up every morning and you take a second glance. Say I'm proud of my mistakes and I'm in love with who I am. They say, ain't you see it? I will gladly L a hand because the view from where I'm sitting might be better for you. Man, I spent a lot of time always saying that. Now I'm asking, can you hear me? Ace in the am, and if you say you ain't see it, you should.
Whoa. Okay, there's a lot to process there.
Right, there's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
What do you make of his style? Any influences you're picking up on? Oh, definitely. He's super focused on his flow, like technically really skilled.
Yeah.
You hear those complex rhymes and internal rhymes all building that intensity. And content-wise, you've got that braggadocio classic rap move, but then these metaphors and wordplay that are really clever. Reminds me a bit of Eminem, that dark humor, that aggressive delivery.
Interesting you say that because he also name drops some cartoons in there. Like I Am Weasel, Cow, and Chicken. It's a weird contrast.
That's weird, but I think it's intentional. Like maybe he's saying, look, I don't take myself too seriously.
But his music is pretty intense, though.
Exactly. So maybe it's also a commentary, right? Like even those cartoons had that dark side, that absurdity.
Yeah.
It's like he's playing with those layers.
That's a good point. And speaking of that dark side, there's a lot of violent imagery in his lyrics, too. Bombing flow. One video is even titled Fight. Is this just for shock value?
I don't think so. Remember we said this channel feels really personal, right? Like we're in his head.
Yeah.
So this aggression, I think it's coming from a real place. Like he's processing some heavy stuff.
So it's less about glorifying violence, more about expressing his internal struggles.
Exactly. It's raw, it's unsettling, but it makes you want to understand him better.
It definitely keeps you hooked. And what's fascinating is how that aggression sits alongside some real vulnerability, which we see in other videos.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what makes this deep dive so interesting. We're not dealing with a one-dimensional artist. This is complex, this is human.
Yeah, that push and pull, that internal conflict. It makes his work really relatable. We're all a bit messy, right?
For sure. And speaking of messy, there's one video, Ex Nihilo, Latin for out of nothing, where things take a more introspective turn. You notice that?
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. It feels like a turning point, right? Like he's trying to find meaning amidst the chaos.
Exactly. It's almost like a creation myth. He's acknowledging the darkness, but also declaring his power to shape his own path.
So he's not just expressing his struggles. He's actively trying to overcome them to create something meaningful from it all.
Exactly. And what's interesting is that this self-doubt, this introspection, it pops up a lot, not just in that one video.
Oh yeah, you see it everywhere. Lines like, perplexed by my reflection, a tug of war inside. It's like this constant battle with himself.
And you gotta wonder, why share this so publicly? Is it to connect with others? A form of catharsis?
Maybe a bit of both. It's definitely a powerful message, especially for younger audiences who might be going through similar things.
For sure. There's that line, human being no difference from you and me, scars underneath, doesn't mean they don't bleed. It gets me every time.
Oh, that one hits hard. It's such a raw reminder that we're all human, all capable of feeling pain, no matter what we show on the outside.
And it makes you think, who's he talking to? A specific person? Or is it more about the world at large?
That's a good question because relationships, especially with women, seem to play a big role in his music. We hear a lot about this she in his lyrics.
Yeah, that's a whole other layer we need to unravel.
Yeah.
She's definitely important, but who she is, what she represents, well, that's something we'll dive into next time. So, where were we? Oh, yeah, that mysterious she figure.
Yeah, she keeps popping up, and I want to figure out who she is to Carnage. But first, I gotta say, his social commentary is on point.
Oh, totally. He doesn't shy away from those tough topics, does he?
Nope. And he weaves it into his personal stories so well. Like that line, watch the price of a time rise with the fall of our economy.
Yeah,
Don't run each other, our parents have gone in business.
deep, right?
Super deep. He's calling out how we get pitted against each other, you know? Like, society pressures us to compete when we should be uniting.
Especially with everything going on now, all the economic inequality, political divisions, it's like he's saying, wake up, we're all in this together.
And he does it in a way that's not preachy, you know? He's sharing his own struggles, inviting us to question things, too.
Exactly. It's not about having all the answers. It's about starting the conversation. And speaking of conversations, let's circle back to she. We said she's important, but who is she? What do you think?
I'm stumped, honestly. Part of me thinks it's a specific person, maybe an ex, someone who really got to him.
Yeah, could be. But it could also be symbolic, right? Like representing the feminine energy, maybe?
Right?
Or the unattainable ideal.
Maybe he's working through his own relationship with love, with vulnerability, through her.
That makes sense. His lyrics are full of that push and pull.
Yeah.
You know, wanting connection, but also fearing it.
Which ties back to his feelings of being unseen, unappreciated. He talks about that a lot, not just in the context of romance.
Right. And there's that line about feeling like a cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
Connecting back to those cartoon references we talked about.
Do you think it's related to she? Like maybe he feels like he's playing a role for her, not being his true self.
Ooh, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Like he's performing, trying to meet some expectation, but not feeling truly seen.
And that's got to be painful, right? To yearn for that genuine connection, but keep hitting walls.
It's a universal feeling, I think. That desire to be loved for who you truly are, flaws and all.
And it feels like Carnage is laying it all out there, the good, the bad, the messy. It's raw and honest, and that's what makes it so powerful.
It's like he's giving us permission to be real too, to embrace our own messiness.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's a reminder that we're not alone in our struggles. And speaking of connections, I'm curious about his fans. Have you seen what they're saying about his music?
Yeah, they're really connecting with it. A lot of comments about how his lyrics speak to their own experiences. You know, like he's giving voice to feelings they couldn't express.
It's almost like he's built a community, a safe space to be vulnerable and share those struggles.
Exactly. And that's the power of art, right?
Yeah.
To bring people together, to remind us that we're not alone.
It's pretty inspiring.
Yeah.
So we've talked about his music, his struggles, the mystery of she, and his social commentary. But something we haven't touched on yet is his evolution as an artist.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one. Because he's not static, he's constantly changing and growing. It's crazy how much he's changed, even just across the videos we've seen.
I know, right? Like, in the beginning, it was all that braggadocio, that classic rapper confidence. But then as you go further, it gets more introspective.
Yeah.
More vulnerable, wouldn't you say?
Oh, totally. But it's not like he loses that confidence. It's more like it shifts, becomes more about self-awareness than proving anything to anyone.
Yeah, like he's comfortable enough in himself to show those doubts, those fears, and not shy away from them.
Exactly. And that's what makes it even more powerful. Right. Because he's not pretending to have it all figured out, which makes him way more relatable.
There's this line that really got me. It's from one of his later videos. He says, pray to God, know that I've been here many nights, many times. I've prayed a lot. Just pray that this ain't the day that my brake's lost.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's heavy.
Right. It feels like he's at this point where he's acknowledging his own limits, maybe even asking for help, you know?
It's like he's hit a wall and realizing he can't do it all alone.
Mm.
And that takes a lot of strength to admit that.
It's definitely not the typical image of a strong rapper, right? But it's way more real, way more human.
And it challenges that whole idea that vulnerability is weakness. Because admitting you need help, that's strength.
Totally. And it makes you think about how he's become more aware of his own power, his influence on others.
Oh, yeah. Like in the early stuff, it felt more about him getting his own feelings out.
Yeah.
But now it's like he's using his platform to say something to the world, to spark conversations.
He's not afraid to get political either, tying his own struggles to these bigger societal issues.
And it works because he's not preaching, you know? It's coming from a real place, his own experiences.
Exactly. It's like, hey, this is what it's like to be me, living in this world, dealing with these forces.
And that resonates, especially with younger people who are told to shut up, keep their heads down.
Right. It's like he's giving them permission to speak up, to demand better.
And he does it all in his own way, his own style, without compromising who he is.
That's what makes him so unique. I mean, what do you think this all means for his future? Where does he go from here?
Well, who knows? But I feel like we've only seen the tip of the iceberg, you know?
Yeah,
He's got so much potential, so much to say. I can't wait to see what he does next.
me neither. This deep dive has been a wild ride. I always knew he was talented, but I didn't realize just how deep it goes.
There's so much more to unpack, to think about.
So for our listeners out there, what should they be taking away from this?
Go check out 1nOnly for yourselves. Seriously, don't just take our word for it. Dive in and experience it.
And think about his journey, too, how he's embraced vulnerability, challenged himself, and used his art to make a difference.
It's inspiring, right? It shows you don't need to be perfect, just real, to create something powerful.
And that's a message we could all use right now, no matter who you are or what you're going through.
Carnage proves that even in the darkest times, there's hope, there's growth, and there's the power of art to connect us all.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So, to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep questioning. Until next time, keep the conversation
Welcome to
going.
today's deep dive, where we're going to explore the world of Carnage 1nOnly.
Oh, this should be fun.
Yeah, this one's really interesting. An artist, musician, and writer. And you've given us like a ton of material, audio recordings, lyrics, personal notes, even trending YouTube tags.
Wow.
It's like we're about to like peel back the layers of like a seriously complex person, you know?
Yeah, it is kind of amazing we're not just seeing their art, but also kind of getting to see like their personal struggles and everything, right? What really gets me is how many different things Carnage 1nOnly is, into ancient wisdom, modern neuroscience, self-improvement, even like criticizing society.
Yeah, it's a lot, that's for sure.
Definitely a lot to unpack.
A lot to unpack. But yeah, so to make sense of it all,
Right.
we're going to dive into their biography. We're going to like break apart their lyrics and look at all these YouTube tags.
Sounds good.
But first, just to like set the scene, the bio tells us Carnage 1nOnly was diagnosed with ADHD at 6, started writing at 15, and has been using art to like cope with personal stuff and inspire others ever since.
Okay, yeah.
Do you think that early ADHD diagnosis like tells us anything?
Well, ADHD is often linked to being more creative,
Right.
but it also means they need to find ways to like use all that energy.
Yeah, yeah.
Carnage 1nOnly seems to do both, right? They put their energy into art, deal with their inner world, and reach out to people at the same time.
Yeah, it's like they're making sense of everything by sharing it through art.
Exactly. And that whole struggle and transformation thing, it's all over their lyrics.
Yeah.
Like some lines are brutally honest,
Yeah, yeah.
painfully raw, you know, like fell in love with pain, now there's no way of healing, or drowning all your thoughts with a shot of McCormick's.
Wow.
Those aren't just lyrics, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like they're pouring their heart out.
That line about McCormick's, it's like a punch in the gut.
Yeah.
Is that just them, or do you think it's speaking to like this bigger thing, like a bunch of people just wanting to escape, you know?
You know, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
That's where those YouTube tags you gave us get interesting.
Oh,
Tons of searches for healing emotional trauma and spiritual awakening symptoms.
interesting.
It kind of shows this trend.
Okay.
People wanting comfort, meaning ways to deal with all the stress of modern life, you know?
Yeah.
It's like Carnage 1nOnly is speaking for all those people suffering in silence.
And you can feel that longing for connection, for belonging in their words, too.
Oh, yeah, totally.
They talk about wanting a family, trying to solve life's puzzle till their tears soak through. It's sad, but like we've all felt that, right?
Absolutely. The need for love, understanding your place in the world, it's universal.
Yeah.
What's amazing is that Carnage 1nOnly seems to find some of that through their art.
Yeah.
There's this one line that really hits you. I ask who's got it worse, me or my listeners, because at least I have these words. They're the ones that go unheard.
Wow.
It's like music becomes this bridge, you know,
Yeah.
where they can share their experience and connect with people who get it.
It's like being vulnerable makes them stronger. Stronger for themselves and for whoever's listening.
Totally.
And it's not just about expressing darkness.
Right.
It's about searching for light, exploring ways to heal and grow. Like
right.
they go deep into ancient wisdom, binaural beats, pineal gland activation, almost like they're on a spiritual quest,
Yeah,
looking for something more, you know?
for sure. And speaking of spiritual stuff, their cloud experience description is wild.
Yeah. What was that about?
They talked about seeing giants fighting in the sky and having this big revelation about something called Prill.
April. Okay.
Sounds almost psychedelic, but without drugs, you know.
Oh.
It shows how Carnage 1 only looks for meaning in these unusual ways.
It makes you wonder what's going on in their head. Like, what are they tapping
Right.
into?
It's like a journey deep inside their mind.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, even if we don't totally get it, it obviously means a lot to them.
Right.
It drives their creative process and this need to connect with people.
Before we go even deeper into Carnage 1nOnly's world,
Okay.
I gotta ask about this Prill thing. Yeah.
What is Prill and why does it seem so important to their whole, experience?
So, practically speaking, Prill is these tiny balls they use in fertilizer.
Okay.
Apparently, they can clean water and make it easier to absorb.
Interesting.
But for Carnage 1nOnly, I think it's more than just that.
Okay.
It's like this aha moment, a connection between their spiritual stuff and a regular everyday thing.
Right.
Like they're finding something profound in the mundane.
And that connects back to their whole thing about questioning everything, right?
Exactly.
Not just accepting things blindly as facts.
They have this line where they say, it's all our own personal experience and perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're encouraging their listeners to think for themselves,
Right.
to figure things out on their own.
Right.
It's about owning your beliefs and experiences.
This idea of personal agency, self-discovery, it feels like the heart of their work.
For sure. They're not just talking, they're living it.
Experimenting, exploring, and sharing it all in a way that feels super real.
Yeah.
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 It's powerful.
They have this amazing line about pushing through darkness to find light,
Yeah.
about breaking down to build themselves back up.
It's incredibly powerful, yeah.
Hmm.
Do you remember exactly how it goes?
Yeah, it's something like, if I'd never gone so deep that I let myself completely break down, I would never have been able to understand and find a way to build myself back up, let alone find the courage to want to help others do the same.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
It really shows the power of facing your own darkness.
It's like they're saying, I've been there, I know the struggle, and I'm here to help you through it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're not just saying it, they're doing it.
Right.
They talk about spending months meditating and studying ancient wisdom.
Wow.
They're actively working on themselves, channeling those experiences into their music.
It gives their art so much depth.
For sure. It's more than just entertainment.
Yeah.
It's a reflection of a life lived, a journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth.
Yeah. And it resonates with people, especially in a world that can feel so fake and meaningless, right?
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
like they're saying, you're not alone, I'm with you in the struggle, and we can find meaning together.
Exactly.
And that sense of shared journey, that feeling of community, it's a powerful antidote to all the isolation and alienation people feel these days.
Right. Yeah.
But beyond just personal stuff, Carnage 1nOnly also gets into critiquing society,
Really.
questioning things, challenging the usual stories we hear.
Just
The one line that stands out, drowned in this sea of currency. What do you think of that?
Drowned in the sea of currency. It sounds like a criticism of the whole economic system.
Yeah.
That constant pressure to conform,
Yeah.
that feeling of being trapped in a system that doesn't value individuality or real expression.
Exactly. And it speaks to how disillusioned people are, especially younger generations, with the whole idea of success and fulfillment.
Yeah.
Carnage 1nOnly is offering a different perspective,
Right.
a way to see past the limitations and tap into your own power.
They're like a modern-day oracle waking people up to the reality of the Matrix,
Yeah.
encouraging them to break free.
And they're using their platform to build this community, a space where people can connect, share their struggles, and find support.
It's pretty inspiring.
Definitely. It's how important artists like Carnage 1nOnly are to society. They're not just entertainers.
Yeah.
They're truth tellers. They provoke us. They push for change.
Yeah.
They challenge our assumptions, make us think differently, and inspire us to build a world that's more fair and meaningful.
It's like they're saying, you're not alone, we're in this together, and we can make things better.
Exactly. And that's a message that hits home,
Yeah.
especially now.
This has been so insightful,
Yeah.
and we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah, totally.
I want to dig deeper into Carnage 1nOnly's musical influences and how they approach healing and self-discovery.
Sounds good.
What can you tell us about their musical style and how it connects to their overall message?
Now that's where it gets really interesting. Carnage 1nOnly mixes elements from different genres. Hip-hop, electronica, ambient soundscapes. It's this sonic tapestry, right?
Oh.
That shows all their different influences and their desire to, push the boundaries.
Yeah.
They're not stuck in one box. They're creating a sound as unique and complex as their own journey.
It sounds like their music is as much about experimentation and exploration as their spiritual and philosophical pursuits.
Totally. And speaking of exploration, they seem really interested in the healing power of sound.
Yeah, that's come up a few times.
It's more than just a creative thing for them.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Carnage One only really believes music can heal.
Okay.
Not just themselves, but their listeners, too.
Wow.
They've even called music medicine.
Wow.
A powerful force for change and feeling good,
Do you think they believe in the literal healing power of music?
Oh,
Or is it more metaphorical about emotions and stuff?
that's a great question. I think
Uh-huh.
it's both. More and more research is showing how good music is for you.
Interesting.
It can help you process emotions, feel better, even lessen pain and anxiety.
Wow.
So Carnage One Only is onto something real, personally and scientifically.
It's amazing how they blend all these different ideas: ancient wisdom, modern science, personal experience, universal truths.
It's really impressive.
They're creating a whole new spiritual language.
Yeah.
One that speaks to the human experience in a way that traditional stuff just doesn't,
Exactly. They're bridging the gap between science and spirituality, logic and intuition.
Yeah.
The holistic perspective
Mm.
that embraces our full potential.
And this whole holistic thing, it shows up in their personal development too, right?
Oh, yeah.
They talk about positive affirmations, thanking the water, focusing on good thoughts.
Right.
It's like they're weaving self-improvement into their creative process.
It's like they're consciously trying to raise their energy.
Yeah.
Not just for themselves, but for their listeners, too.
It's powerful.
They have this line: remember to start your days giving thanks and putting your positive energy out to the world. Say, I love you. If you are if you're the universe, say, I love you. Say you love the universe. It's a mirror. It's like a call to action, an invitation to embrace positivity and build a more loving relationship with ourselves and the world.
It's a beautiful thought.
For sure.
And it fits with those YouTube tags you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
The searches for chakra balancing, inner healing, how to raise your vibration. These aren't fringe ideas anymore.
Right.
It's mainstream now.
Yeah.
People really want personal transformation and spiritual growth.
Exactly. And Carnage One Only seems to be tapping into that, offering a path to healing and self-discovery that's both relatable and deeply impactful.
They're a true visionary, blending art, spirituality, and science in a way that feels fresh, authentic, and deeply relevant to our times.
Totally agree. It's really interesting how they bring ancient wisdom into these modern practices.
Right.
For a lot of people, these ideas might seem brand new,
Yeah.
but they're actually rooted in traditions that have been around for centuries.
And they don't shy away from the science either.
No, they don't.
They talk about pineal gland activation, cerebral spinal fluid, even DMT.
Right.
It's like they're trying to hack their own brain.
Totally. It speaks to this insatiable curiosity they have.
Yeah.
This drive to understand not just what these experiences are,
Right.
but how and why they happen.
Okay.
And the exciting part is,
Yeah.
we're just starting to understand what the human brain can really do.
You totally.
Especially when it comes to consciousness, intuition, and spiritual experiences.
Right. Right.
Carnage One Only is pushing the boundaries of that exploration, using their own experiences as a kind of living laboratory.
So you mentioned Carnage 1nOnly's Prill revelation earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Could you break that down a bit more?
Sure.
What is Prill and why does it seem so important to them?
Okay, so on a basic level, krill is those little white balls you find in fertilizer.
Oh,
They can actually purify water, make it taste better, and help your skin absorb it.
interesting.
But for Carnage One Only, I think it's symbolic.
Okay.
It's a moment of deep insight, a link between their spiritual practice and this simple, everyday object.
Yeah.
It's like finding something extraordinary in the ordinary.
It reminds you that truth can be found anywhere.
Right. Even in the most unexpected places.
And it goes back to their whole thing about questioning everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not taking anything for granted,
Mhm.
always digging deeper.
Not just accepting things at face value.
Exactly. It's about finding your own path, trusting your gut,
Yeah.
and being skeptical of, conventional wisdom.
And that self-reliance, it's a big theme in their work, right?
Oh, yeah.
They talk about picking themselves up after falling, finding the strength to heal and help others.
Right.
It's a powerful message of resilience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is. And they have this amazing line that captures it perfectly.
Oh, yeah. How does it go?
If I would have never been so deep that I allowed myself to break myself down, then I never would have been able to understand and find a way to pick myself back up, let alone finding the courage to want to pick others up.
Wow, that's powerful.
Right. It's like they're saying that sometimes being vulnerable is what makes you strong.
It's a reminder that our struggles can be our greatest teachers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The path to wholeness often means facing your deepest wounds.
And Carnage One only doesn't just talk about it.
No, they don't.
They live it.
They talk about spending months in deep meditation, exploring ancient wisdom, really doing the inner work.
It's inspiring.
For sure. It's what makes their message so authentic.
Yeah, it's that authenticity that connects with people.
Totally.
They're not just throwing out empty phrases, they're sharing their own struggles, their doubts, their victories.
And it makes people feel seen and heard.
Right.
Like they're not alone.
And they're not just focused on personal growth either.
No, not at all.
They're also looking at bigger societal issues, challenging the way things are, encouraging their listeners to question the systems that keep us trapped in these limited ways of thinking.
Exactly. They have this line about being drowned in this sea of currency.
Yeah, that one stuck with me.
It's a powerful image, right?
Yeah.
It captures that feeling of being overwhelmed by the demands of modern society, the focus on material things.
It's a criticism of a system that puts profit before people, conformity before individuality.
Right. And it's a narrow definition of success that leaves a lot of people feeling empty.
Carnage 1nOnly's response isn't to give up, though.
No, not at all.
It's about empowerment.
They want their listeners to break free from the system, to question what they've been told, and find their own way to a meaningful life.
It's like they're a revolutionary, leading people out of the darkness.
Yeah, and they're doing it through their art, creating this space where vulnerability and strength come together, where darkness meets light, where personal change and social change intersect.
It's really beautiful and powerful.
It's a tapestry that speaks to all the complexities of being human, and it feels both timely and timeless.
That commitment to authenticity, it shows up in their music, too.
Absolutely.
You mentioned earlier that they've talked about music being medicine,
Oh, yeah.
a powerful force for healing and transformation.
They have this one lyric, "Let me write a script with no dealer or seller. A medicine exists that can make you feel better, where butterflies, stitches, heal victims through ways of rhythm."
Powerful stuff.
It's like they believe music can actually heal a broken heart.
And there's actually research that backs that up.
There is.
It shows that music can help us process emotions, regulate our moods, even reduce pain and anxiety.
So Carnage 1nOnly's intuition is spot on.
They're taking their own pain and turning it into something that can help others.
Yeah, and it feels so genuine. It's coming from a real place.
They're not just making music for entertainment.
No.
They're creating sonic experiences designed to uplift, inspire, and heal.
Exactly. And that intention is clear.